it's Nurse J at Nursing the Truth. I hope everyone's having a great day. And yes, Nurse J is back in the house. How you doing, my friends and my subscribers and my beloveds? Been working very hard. And I'm off today and for the next few days. So I'm trying to get rest. But there is no rest in my house. That is for sure. So I'm going to make a really quick little video. This is just kind of a little bit of fun stuff. It's not really digging deep and having to get your pens and Bibles out. But I saw on YouTube this weekend about Amon-RE was found in Jerusalem. This was just like a little video, and I had never heard of that. I knew that they have found Amenhotep III's, scarab, or seal, and this, that, and the third. But nothing about Amon-RE. Amon-RE was the wonderful sun god that had been worshipped for many, many thousands of years. So you can look this up at Amon-RE, Egyptology.blogspot.com. I'm giving this information to you. Now, this was written back in 2012, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting to you guys. So, as I said, when you know history, you can kind of cancel things out. But when you don't know history and you're ignorant of it, then you're just going to take it and go praise God of what the preacher man is saying. Now, a rare find in Jerusalem reflects ancient connections with Egypt. Well, I wonder why. Because Egypt owned the land of Canaan for many, many years. And everyone in that area, like Syria and Babylon, the Hittites and Egypt, they all wanted Canaan because it's a very significant place. Now, it says that a discovery of a rare ancient Egyptian scarab during excavation in Jerusalem provides a glimpse into the late Bronze Age city. For archaeologists and students of archaeology, hearing the name Jerusalem conjures up images of ancient artifacts that can be found in few other places in the world. But recent archaeological excavations there have uncovered something that has not been commonly found. Oh, yes, it has. You just don't want to show it, because once people start knowing the real truth, then this establishment will come tumbling down. So, directed by Israeli archaeologists Eli Shukron and Joe Uzel under the sponsorship of the Israel Antiquities Authority, excavations have recovered an ancient Egyptian scarab dated to the 13th century BCE, the late Bronze Age. So then that would be the 1200s BCE, right? 13th century. You're knocking it down to the 1200s BCE. Quote unquote, found within the city of David National Park, which is situated within the most ancient part of Jerusalem. The scarab is attributed to Egypt's 19th dynasty period of Egyptian hegemony over the city that was actually a Jebusite settlement at the time. The Jebusites were a tribe of Canaanites that built and developed Jerusalem before its conquest by King David during the 10th century, according to the biblical account. Well, let's just give you a little bit of teaching today. So they're going to say they've recovered a Egyptian scarab dated to the 1200s BCE, and that it's attributed to the 19th dynasty. Well, the 19th dynasty would be in that era, true. But you got to understand, in the biblical text, it talks about this certain king of the Jebusites. and that David went in, yada yada, this, that, and the third, and was going to protect this king. And he was going to, let him rule that area or what have you. Well, but what is really funny in historical information, looking at my phone, guys, in historical information, Tutmosis III in the 18th dynasty, when he went into Jerusalem, he came across the Jebusite Canaanite king that was already there before him and made a fortified city and had garrisons there and lived there for 7 months. And he paid the king and he protected those types of people against other invading people. That is the wrap on that. So we have to understand that Tutmosis III was your biblical King David. Okay? And he was the Napoleon warrior king of the 18th dynasty. Yes, my friends, blood was on his hands. And so the first time the columnist wrote is that we found a scarab of this kind in the city of David. The seal is from the late Bronze period, which the dating is the land of Israel under Egyptian rule. Okay. The seal is from the late Bronze period, during which the land of Israel was under Egyptian rule. It's exciting and interesting to have discovered this unique artifact, and it gives us a glimpse into Jerusalem in that era. This was a small oval-shaped Egyptian gem-like amulet or miniature seal, and the scarab found during these excavations served as a seal and was to stamp documents. It bears the name in Egyptian hieroglyphic writing of the sun god Amon-RE. And I will pray to you, Amon-RE, because you are divine. One of Egypt's most important deities, and it bears the image of a duck, interpreted to be one of the sun god's symbols. Now, the scarab is dated to a time that some scholars suggest corresponds to the time of the Hebrew exodus from Egypt. And the 13th century was also a time when Egypt ruled or controlled most of the present-day Israel, Gaza, and West Bank land that was occupied by the ancient Canaanites. So, scarab found of Amon-RE. From the time the Tutmosis III, the 18th Egyptian dynasty, ruled that area, and they were the vassal state. They had control over that area. And we have the 19th dynasty of Seti and Ramesses. And then these scholars are wanting to say that Moses led the children of Israel to the promised land of Canaan. Answer me this, truth seekers. If Egypt was there and that was their vassal state, and you had thousands of slaves that left and was wandering out, And they traveled to a garrison area of runaway slaves. Don't you think they would be runaways and they would put them back on a bus and bring them back to Thebes or Heliopolis or the upper Delta? See, my friends, you cannot run away from Egypt to go to Egypt. And the garrisons were military fortified areas, just like police stations in a city for criminals and jail cells. So until next time, friends, I hope you have enjoyed this little treat. They have found so much Amhotep, now Amon-Ra, and it's in the time of these Canaanites. And did you know that none of the Canaanites were completely wiped out because of DNA evidence, my friends? The Lebanese and Syrians of today has and are direct descendants of the Canaanites. Until next time, Hotep, Ashe, and thank you, subscribers. Thank you to the new ones. Thank you to the old ones. And thank you to the new ones that will come into manifestation. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm so glad to be back with you guys. Goodbye.